In 1893, within the quiet, sun-drenched town of New Bern, North Carolina, a young pharmacist named Caleb Bradham begins to experiment, glass beakers clinking in his back room. His drugstore, a local hub for tinctures and remedies, also features a popular soda fountain, its marble counter gleaming under gaslight. Bradham, a graduate of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, possesses a keen interest in chemistry, his mind alight with a desire to create a refreshing, invigorating beverage for his customers. He mixes various ingredients in his back room, driven by the belief that a good soda should not only taste pleasant, but also aid digestion and boost energy, a pharmacist's promise in every sip. His early concoctions involve sugar, water, caramel, cola nuts, and a blend of other secret ingredients, bubbling softly in his mixing vats. One particular formula, a dark, sweet, and effervescent drink, quickly garners favor among his patrons, their smiles widening after each glass. They find it not only delightful to the palate, but also surprisingly settling for upset stomachs, a gentle wave of relief. Bradham christens this new creation Brad's Drink, a simple label for a drink that will, in time, become a global phenomenon, its name echoing across continents. The popularity of Brad's Drink grows steadily within New Bern, word spreading like wildfire through the town square. Customers specifically request it, their voices clear, drawn by its unique flavor and perceived health benefits. Bradham, recognizing the potential beyond his soda fountain, decides to formalize his invention, drawing up papers. On August 28, 1898, he renames Brad's Drink to Pepsi-Cola, the new letters emblazoned on a fresh sign. The new name is a thoughtful choice, a nod to two of the drink's key components. Pepsi, likely referencing pepsin, an enzyme believed to aid digestion, and cola indicating the cola nut extract used in the formula, a chemist's signature. This renaming marks a pivotal moment, signaling Bradham's ambition to transform a local favorite into a broader commercial product, its wings beginning to unfurl. With a new name and growing demand, Bradham takes the next logical step. He incorporates the Pepsi-Cola Company in 1902, the legal document solidifying his vision. This legal establishment provides the framework for expansion, a sturdy scaffolding for growth. He begins to sell Pepsi-Cola syrup to other drugstores and soda fountains in the region, the dark, sweet liquid flowing into new barrels, allowing them to mix and serve the beverage to their own customers. The initial capital for this venture is modest, a few coins in a jar, but Bradham's entrepreneurial spirit is not. He envisions Pepsi-Cola becoming a household name, a refreshing staple across America, gracing every table. The first Pepsi-Cola trademark is registered on June 16, 1903, a legal shield against imitators. This legal protection secures his formula and brand identity, safeguarding it from those who would copy. Bradham moves his operations from his drugstore to a rented building in New Bern, the scent of cola and caramel now filling a dedicated space solely for the production of Pepsi-Cola syrup. The demand continues to rise, necessitating a more systematic approach to manufacturing and distribution, gears beginning to turn. In 1904, Bradham makes a crucial decision. He begins selling Pepsi-Cola in 6-ounce glass bottles, the amber liquid now encased in portable form. This move is transformative, breaking the drink free from the soda fountain. Bottling allows for broader distribution beyond soda fountains, making Pepsi-Cola accessible in homes, stores, and various public venues, clinking in shopping baskets. The initial bottling process is rudimentary, often done by hand, each bottle filled with care, but it represents a significant leap forward. He sells 7,968 gallons of syrup that year, a testament to the drink's burgeoning appeal, a rising tide of sweetness. The early advertising for Pepsi-Cola emphasizes its refreshing qualities and its digestive benefits, words splashed across local papers. Slogans like exhilarating, invigorating aids digestion appear in local newspapers and on promotional materials, promising vitality. Bradham understands the importance of marketing, even on a limited budget, a lean purse but a sharp mind. He personally promotes the drink, often traveling to secure new syrup accounts and bottling partners, his footsteps echoing in new towns. The year 1905 sees further expansion. The first bottling franchises are granted in Charlotte and Durham, North Carolina, new flags planted on the map. This franchise model proves highly effective, allowing local entrepreneurs to invest in bottling and distributing Pepsi-Cola in their respective territories, thereby accelerating the brand's reach without requiring immense capital investment from the parent company. This decentralized approach is a strategic masterstroke, laying the groundwork for Pepsi-Cola's future national presence, a spiderweb of distribution. By 1907, the company's growth is undeniable. Pepsi-Cola is now sold in 24 states, its reach stretching across the map. Bradham's vision is steadily becoming a reality, the dream taking tangible shape. He continues to refine his business model, focusing on efficient syrup production and robust franchise support, the gears well-oiled. The annual syrup sales reach 100,000 gallons, a significant milestone that underscores the drink's increasing popularity across the East Coast and parts of the Midwest, a wave cresting higher. The brand's advertising becomes more sophisticated. In 1908, a prominent advertisement features a woman in a bathing suit, a daring image for the time, positioned to evoke feelings of refreshment and leisure, a splash of modernity. This marks an early attempt to associate Pepsi-Cola with a lifestyle, not just a medicinal benefit, moving beyond the pharmacy shelf. The company is learning to speak to a broader consumer base, its voice reaching new ears. The decade between 1910 and 1920 is a period of sustained growth for Pepsi-Cola, a steady climb. The number of bottlers expands rapidly, reaching 240 franchises in 24 states by 1910, a dense network. Bradham's personal involvement remains crucial, as he continues to oversee the quality of the syrup and the expansion of the bottling network, his hands still on the wheel. He is not merely a chemist. He is a shrewd businessman, adapting to the demands of a rapidly industrializing nation, its factories humming. World War I, beginning in 1914, presents both challenges and opportunities, a storm on the horizon. Sugar, a primary ingredient in Pepsi-Cola, becomes a rationed commodity, its bins emptying. This scarcity threatens production, forcing Bradham to adapt, his mind racing for solutions. He experiments with alternative sweetening RS and seeks out new suppliers, demonstrating resilience in the face of wartime economic pressures, a tightrope walk. Despite these hurdles, the demand for refreshing beverages persists, and Pepsi-Cola manages to maintain its presence in the market, a familiar taste in uncertain times. The post-war boom, often referred to as the Roaring Twenties, brings renewed optimism and increased consumer spending, wallets opening wider. Pepsi-Cola, like many other American businesses, benefits from this economic prosperity, riding the wave. The company capitalizes on the era's vibrant culture, with advertising that reflects the changing social landscape, images of flappers and jazz. The image of the flapper and the spirit of jazz begin to subtly influence the brand's promotional materials, a whisper of rebellion. However, the rapid growth also brings new complexities, a tangled knot. The price of sugar, which had been artificially low during the war due to government controls, experiences wild fluctuations in the immediate post-war period, a roller coaster of costs. Bradham, anticipating a continued rise in sugar prices, makes a strategic decision to purchase a large quantity of sugar at what he believes is a favorable rate, stockpiling White Mountains. He invests heavily, tying up a significant portion of the company's capital in this single commodity, all his eggs in one basket. This decision, while seemingly prudent at the time, proves to be a catastrophic miscalculation, a fatal error. The sugar market, notoriously volatile, suddenly crashes, prices plummeting like a stone. The price plummets, leaving Pepsi-Cola with vast reserves of sugar purchased at inflated prices, a bitter taste of loss. This sudden and dramatic devaluation of its primary raw material cripples the company financially, its foundation cracking. By 1921, the financial strain becomes unbearable, the burden too heavy. The Pepsi-Cola company, despite its earlier successes, declares bankruptcy, its doors closing. Caleb Bradham, the visionary pharmacist who created Brad's drink, loses control of the company he founded, his dreams slipping through his fingers. It is a heartbreaking turn of events, a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of commodity markets and the delicate balance of business, a cruel twist of fate. Bradham attributes the failure squarely to the fluctuating sugar prices and his misjudgment, not to the quality or appeal of the drink itself. Its flavor still sweet. The assets of the Pepsi-Cola company are sold to a North Carolina businessman named C.A. Crutchfield for $30,000, a pittance for a once promising empire. Crutchfield attempts to revive the brand, but his efforts are short-lived, a flickering flame. The lingering financial issues and the competitive landscape prove too challenging, a steep hill to climb. The brand, once a rising star, struggles to regain its footing, its light dimming. In 1923, Crutchfield sells the Pepsi-Cola trademark and formula to Roy C. Megagill, a Wall Street broker, the papers changing hands again. Megagill, with a background in finance, believes he can turn the company around, seeing numbers where others saw ruin. He attempts to re-establish the bottling network and inject new capital into the business, trying to restart the engines. He faces an uphill battle, however. The brand's reputation has suffered, and the competition from established players like Coca-Cola is formidable, a giant looming. Megagill's tenure is also marked by financial difficulties, the ledgers still showing red. He struggles to secure consistent funding and to rebuild the franchise system that Bradham had so carefully constructed, the pieces scattered. Despite his best intentions, the company continues to falter, its breath shallow. The economic climate, while generally prosperous for the nation, is not forgiving to a brand struggling with past failures and undercapitalization, a ship leaking. By 1928, the Pepsi-Cola company, under Megagill's ownership, finds itself once again on the brink, teetering on the edge. The earlier sugar crisis had left deep scars, and the subsequent attempts at revival had not been sufficient to overcome them, the wounds still fresh. The brand, still clinging to its name and original formula, is a shadow of its former self, a testament to the fragility of even the most promising ventures, a ghost of a dream. The year 1929 dawns with a sense of unease, a subtle tremor beneath the surface of the booming American economy, a crack in the foundation. The stock market, which had soared to unprecedented heights, shows signs of volatility, its ascent faltering. Consumer confidence, while still robust, is beginning to fray at the edges, a thread unraveling. The stage is set for a dramatic shift that will impact every corner of American life, including the struggling Pepsi-Cola company, its fate hanging by a thread. The Great Depression hits the United States in 1929, a tidal wave about to break. The Great Depression, a cataclysmic economic downturn, descends upon the United States in 1929, plunging the nation into an era of unprecedented hardship, its landscape scarred. Millions lose their jobs, businesses collapse, and a pervasive sense of despair grips the country, a heavy shroud. For the struggling Pepsi-Cola company, teetering on the edge of insolvency, this economic maelstrom seems to seal its fate, the final nail in the coffin. The idea of a luxury beverage, even an affordable one, appears utterly incongruous with the grim reality of breadlines and Hoovervilles, their stark images haunting the streets. Yet within this crucible of crisis, an unlikely savior emerges. Charles Guth, a shrewd and tenacious businessman, presides over Loft, Inc., a candy manufacturer and soda fountain chain based in Baltimore, Maryland, his empire built on sweets. Loft, Inc. operates a network of candy stores, many equipped with soda fountains, where they serve Coca-Cola, the iconic red logo, everywhere. Guth, however, harbors a deep-seated resentment towards Coca-Cola. He feels the company is charging Loft, Inc. exorbitant prices for its syrup and refusing to offer the discounts he believes his large chain deserves, a bitter taste in his mouth. In 1931, fueled by this simmering animosity and a desire to control his own beverage supply, Guth makes a pivotal decision, a line drawn in the sand. He approaches Coca-Cola, demanding a more favorable syrup price, his voice firm. When his demands are summarily rejected, he vows to find an alternative, a fire lit in his eyes. He instructs his chemists at Loft to formulate a competing cola, but their efforts prove unsuccessful. They cannot replicate the distinctive taste and appeal of the market leader, the formulas falling flat. Undeterred, Guth begins to explore other options, his gaze sweeping the market. He learns of the beleaguered Pepsi Cola company, still holding onto its original formula and trademark, but with virtually no operational presence, a forgotten relic. The company is, for all intents and purposes, moribund, a ghost of its former self. In 1931, Guth, through Loft, Inc., acquires the Pepsi Cola trademark, formula, and remaining assets for a mere $10,000, a paltry sum for a legacy. This sum, a pittance compared to its initial value, reflects the brand's dire state, its fortunes at rock bottom. Guth's immediate challenge is clear: revive a forgotten brand in the midst of the worst economic crisis in American history, a monumental task. He understands that for Pepsi Cola to succeed, it must offer a compelling value proposition to cash-strapped consumers, a lifeline. His initial strategy is audacious in its simplicity: double the quantity for the same price, a bold stroke. While Coca-Cola sells its iconic 6.5-ounce bottle for 5 cents, Guth decides to offer a 12-ounce bottle of Pepsi Cola for the exact same nickel, a direct challenge. This nickel a bottle, twice as much, strategy is a direct assault on Coca-Cola's market dominance and a powerful appeal to the Depression-era consumer, a beacon of value. Every penny counts in the 1930s, and the prospect of getting double the refreshment for the same price is an irresistible lure, a magnet for wallets. Guth begins to produce Pepsi Cola syrup and bottle the drink using Loft's existing infrastructure, the production lines humming. He leverages the Loft candy stores as immediate distribution points, replacing Coca-Cola with Pepsi Cola at their soda fountains and on their shelves, a changing of the guard. The initial rollout is met with cautious optimism, consumers peering at the larger bottle. Consumers, accustomed to making their pennies stretch, respond positively to the value proposition, their hands reaching for the bigger bottle. The larger bottle becomes Pepsi Cola's signature, a tangible representation of its commitment to affordability, a promise in glass. Guth, however, faces immense challenges. He needs to rebuild a national bottling network from scratch, a monumental task given the economic climate and the fierce loyalty many bottlers held for Coca-Cola, a deeply entrenched rival. He travels extensively, pitching his vision to independent bottlers, many of whom are struggling themselves, their businesses barely afloat. He offers attractive franchise terms, emphasizing the competitive advantage of the 12-ounce bottle, a clear selling point. Slowly but surely, a new network begins to form, primarily in the Mid-Atlantic and Southern states, where the economic pinch is particularly acute and the thirst for value is highest, a lifeline in hard times. In 1934, a pivotal moment arrives. Pepsi-Cola finds itself on the brink of bankruptcy for the third time, its finances threadbare. The company is deeply in debt, and Guth is struggling to keep it afloat, treading water. He makes a desperate plea to the United States Bankruptcy Court, his voice echoing in the courtroom. During these proceedings, he offers a desperate solution. If the court allows him to continue operations, he will sell Pepsi-Cola for 5 cents a bottle, a public vow. This public declaration solidifies the brand's identity as the affordable alternative, its destiny sealed by a nickel. The year 1934 also marks the beginning of a crucial advertising campaign. Recognizing that simply offering a larger bottle isn't enough, Guth invests in radio advertising, a burgeoning medium that reaches millions of American homes, voices filling the airwaves. He commissions a jingle, a catchy tune designed to embed Pepsi-Cola into the national consciousness, a melody taking root. The early jingles are simple, often highlighting the more for your money message, a straightforward appeal. One of the most significant early advertising successes comes in 1934, with the Pepsi-Cola Hits the Spot jingle. While it wouldn't become a national sensation until later, its initial version begins to circulate, a quiet hum. The jingle, set to the tune of a popular folk song, emphasizes refreshment and the satisfying feeling of drinking Pepsi-Cola, a simple pleasure. It is an early attempt to create an emotional connection with consumers, moving beyond just the price point, a deeper bond forming. The legal battles with Coca-Cola also intensify during this period. Coca-Cola, alarmed by Pepsi-Cola's resurgence and its direct challenge to its pricing model, initiates a series of lawsuits, primarily centered on trademark infringement and unfair competition, legal skirmishes in the courtroom. These legal skirmishes, though costly and time-consuming, inadvertently draw more attention to Pepsi-Cola, solidifying its image as the underdog fighting against the corporate giant, a David and Goliath story. By 1936, Pepsi-Cola's fortunes begin to dramatically improve, the tide turning. The 12-ounce bottle for a nickel strategy is proving remarkably effective, its message resonating. Sales soar, particularly in regions hit hardest by the Depression, where consumers prioritize value above all else, their hands reaching for the bigger bottle. The company's revenues jump from $2.1 million in 1933 to $20 million in 1936, a meteoric rise, a rocket launch. This meteoric rise is a testament to Guth's audacious gamble and the enduring appeal of a good bargain, a triumph of value. The core of Pepsi-Cola's marketing message remains consistent: twice as much for a nickel, words emblazoned everywhere. This slogan becomes synonymous with the brand, a household phrase. Advertisements feature smiling families, laborers, and everyday Americans enjoying the larger bottle, reinforcing the idea that Pepsi-Cola is the drink for the common person, a symbol of smart spending during tough times, a drink for every hand. The internal dynamics at Loft, Inc. and Pepsi-Cola, however, are far from stable. Charles Guth's aggressive business tactics and his singular focus on Pepsi-Cola create friction with the Loft board, cracks forming in the foundation. He is accused of using Loft's resources to benefit Pepsi-Cola, a company he effectively controls at the expense of Loft shareholders, a betrayal of trust. These disputes eventually escalate into protracted legal battles that will shape the future of both companies, legal storms brewing. Despite the internal strife, Pepsi-Cola's external growth continues unabated, a train steaming forward. The company begins to expand its product line, introducing various flavors and sizes, though the 12-ounce nickel bottle remains its flagship offering, its core identity. The bottling network, though still smaller than Coca-Cola's, grows steadily, reaching more towns and cities across the country, its tendrils spreading. In 1938, the legal battle between Charles Guth and Loft, Inc. reaches a fever pitch, the gavel falling. The Delaware Court of Chancery rules against Guth, stating that he had breached his fiduciary duty to Loft by acquiring Pepsi-Cola for himself, and not for Loft, a harsh judgment. This ruling forces Guth to relinquish his control of Pepsi-Cola to Loft, Inc., his empire crumbling. It is a dramatic corporate shakeup, but by this point, Pepsi-Cola is a thriving, profitable entity, its engines roaring. Walter S. Mac Jr. takes over as president of the Pepsi-Cola Company in 1939, a new captain at the helm. Mac is a visionary marketer who understands the power of advertising and brand building, his mind alight with ideas. He recognizes that while the twice as much for a nickel message is effective, Pepsi-Cola needs to evolve its image beyond just a value proposition, a bolder vision. He aims to make Pepsi-Cola a more aspirational brand, without abandoning its core appeal to affordability, a balance struck. Mac's tenure marks a new era for Pepsi-Cola, one characterized by aggressive and innovative marketing, a fresh wind blowing. He understands the importance of mass media and invests heavily in radio and, increasingly, print advertising, his budget expanding. He wants to ensure that Pepsi-Cola's message reaches every household in America, its voice echoing in every home. The Pepsi-Cola Hits the Spot jingle, first conceived in the mid-1930s, is dramatically revitalized under Mac's leadership, its melody soaring. In 1939, a new version of the jingle is produced, set to a catchy, upbeat tune, its rhythm infectious. The lyrics are simple, memorable, and directly communicate the brand's core benefit. Pepsi-Cola hits the spot /12 full ounces. That's a lot twice as much for a nickel. 2 Pepsi-Cola is the drink for you. A perfect advertising symphony. This jingle is a stroke of marketing genius, a masterwork. It is incredibly effective because it combines several key elements: a memorable melody, clear articulation of the product's value, 12 ounces for a nickel, and a direct appeal to the consumer, a direct conversation. It is broadcast widely on radio programs across the country, becoming an earworm that permeates American culture, a tune everyone knows. The jingle's popularity explodes, particularly as World War II begins to cast its shadow over the globe, a dark cloud gathering. As American involvement in the war becomes imminent, and then a reality, the jingle provides a small moment of levity and familiarity in an increasingly uncertain world, a comforting sound. Soldiers overseas sing it, families at home hum it, and it becomes an unofficial anthem of value and simple pleasure, a shared melody. By the early 1940s, the Pepsi-Cola Hits the Spot jingle becomes a national sensation, its notes heard everywhere. The jingle, an undeniable earworm, permeates American culture, a constant reminder of Pepsi's promise of value, its melody etched in memory. It is heard on radios in kitchens and living rooms, sung by children on playgrounds, and even whistled by soldiers abroad, a soundtrack to daily life. This pervasive presence solidifies Pepsi-Cola's position as a national brand, no longer merely a regional underdog, its star rising. The onset of World War II brings unprecedented challenges and opportunities for American businesses. As the nation mobilizes for war, rationing becomes a fact of life, and vital resources like sugar, a key ingredient in soft drinks, are severely restricted, its supply dwindling. The war effort also diverts manufacturing capacity and manpower, making production and distribution more difficult, factories retooling for war. Despite these hurdles, Walter Mack sees an opportunity to align Pepsi-Cola with the national spirit of patriotism and sacrifice. He implements a strategy that focuses on supporting the troops and maintaining brand visibility, even as production is constrained, a flag waving. Pepsi-Cola places advertisements in newspapers and magazines featuring servicemen and women, linking the refreshing drink to the brave individuals defending the country, a patriotic image. The company also supplies Pepsi Cola to military bases and canteens, ensuring that soldiers have access to a taste of home, a familiar comfort in a foreign land. This wartime strategy, while not directly focused on increasing sales, builds immense goodwill and reinforces Pepsi Cola's image as a truly American brand, its roots deepening. The end of World War II in 1945 ushers in a new era of unprecedented economic prosperity and social change in the United States, a vibrant new chapter. Returning soldiers, eager to embrace civilian life, fuel a massive boom in housing, consumer goods, and leisure activities, their spending power unleashed. The baby boom generation begins, creating a vast new demographic of consumers, a wave of eager buyers. This post-war landscape presents both immense opportunities and fierce competition for Pepsi Cola. Coca-Cola, having established an almost unassailable global presence by supplying its product to American troops worldwide, returns from the war with even greater dominance, its red banner flying high. Pepsi Cola, under Mac's leadership, must now pivot from a wartime footing to a peacetime strategy, navigating a rapidly evolving consumer market, its compass recalibrating. The nickel a bottle, twice as much message, while still effective, begins to lose some of its urgency as disposable incomes rise, wallets growing fatter. Consumers are increasingly willing to pay a premium for perceived quality and brand prestige, their tastes growing more refined. Mac recognizes that Pepsi Cola needs to modernize its image and appeal to a broader, more affluent demographic, a new vision for a new era. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, Pepsi Cola launches a series of advertising campaigns aimed at repositioning the brand. New images splashed across pages. These campaigns move away from solely emphasizing price and volume, instead focusing on taste, refreshment, and a more sophisticated lifestyle, a touch of elegance. Advertisements begin to feature fashionable young people enjoying Pepsi Cola in aspirational settings, such as picnics, parties, and leisure activities, their smiles bright. The iconic Pepsi Cola hits the spot. Jingle is still widely used, but it is often accompanied by visuals that suggest a more contemporary and dynamic brand, a modern twist. Pepsi Cola also begins to experiment with new bottle designs and packaging, seeking to differentiate itself from Coca-Cola's classic contour bottle, a quest for individuality. The company introduces larger multi-packs, catering to the growing trend of supermarket shopping and at-home consumption, fitting into new shopping carts. Walter Mac's tenure at Pepsi Cola ends in 1951, marking the close of a transformative era for the company, a chapter ending. He leaves behind a brand that, while still trailing Coca-Cola, has solidified its national presence and established a clear identity, its own distinct voice. His successor, Alfred N. Steele, takes the helm in 1950 and immediately recognizes the need for an even more aggressive and sophisticated marketing approach, his sights set higher. Steele, a former Coca-Cola executive, brings an insider's understanding of the competition and a relentless drive to challenge its dominance, a fierce competitor. Steele's vision for Pepsi Cola is to elevate it from a value brand to a premium, aspirational beverage, a climb up the social ladder. He believes that to truly compete with Coca-Cola, Pepsi must shed its image as the poor man's cola and appeal to the burgeoning middle class, their pockets jingling. He invests heavily in advertising, significantly increasing the company's marketing budget, a torrent of cash. Steele's strategy is clear. Attack Coca-Cola's perceived superiority head-on, not with price, but with image, a battle of perceptions. In the mid-1950s, Pepsi Cola launches the groundbreaking Be Sociable, Have a Pepsi campaign. This campaign marks a significant departure from previous advertising, focusing on social occasions, glamour, and modernity, a sparkling new image. Advertisements depict stylish, attractive people enjoying Pepsi-Cola in sophisticated settings, often with the tagline subtly implying that Pepsi is the drink of choice for the socially conscious and upwardly mobile, a whisper of aspiration. The campaign aims to associate Pepsi-Cola with a vibrant, youthful lifestyle, directly contrasting with Coca-Cola's more traditional and established image, a youthful rebellion. Steele also makes a strategic decision to involve his wife, Hollywood movie star Joan Crawford, in Pepsi-Cola's promotional efforts. Crawford, a glamorous and widely recognized figure, becomes a de facto brand ambassador, appearing in advertisements and attending company events, her star power shining. Her involvement brings a touch of Hollywood star power and sophistication to the brand, further elevating its image, a touch of Tinseltown. This celebrity endorsement is a bold move for the time, leveraging the power of popular culture to reach a wider audience, its reach expanding. Under Steele's leadership, Pepsi-Cola also undertakes a major overhaul of its packaging and branding. The iconic red, white, and blue logo is introduced, a design that evokes patriotism and modernity, a fresh burst of color. The new logo is clean, contemporary, and easily recognizable, helping to differentiate Pepsi from its competitor, a clear visual statement. The company also invests in new bottling plants and expands its distribution network, particularly in international markets where Coca-Cola has already established a strong foothold, new territories conquered. Steele's aggressive expansion and marketing efforts yield significant results. By the late 1950s, Pepsi-Cola's sales and market share begin to grow steadily, chipping away at Coca-Cola's seemingly insurmountable lead, a slow erosion. The Be Sociable, Have a Pepsi campaign successfully repositions the brand, making it more appealing to a broader consumer base, its message resonating with new ears. Alfred Steele's untimely death in 1959 brings an end to his transformative leadership, a sudden silence. However, his vision and strategies lay the groundwork for Pepsi-Cola's continued growth and evolution in the decades to come, a lasting legacy. Donald M. Kendall takes over as president of Pepsi-Cola International in 1957, and then as CEO of PepsiCo in 1963, following the merger of Pepsi-Cola Company and Frito-Lay. Kendall is a formidable leader with an ambitious vision for Pepsi-Cola, particularly in the international arena, his gaze fixed on global horizons. He recognizes that while the American market is crucial, global expansion holds immense potential for future growth, a vast, untapped ocean. Kendall, much like Steele, is a fierce competitor who is determined to challenge Coca-Cola's global dominance, a new battle brewing. The 1960s are a decade of profound social and cultural upheaval in the United States, marked by the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War, and a burgeoning youth counterculture, a whirlwind of change. This era of change also sees a significant shift in consumer preferences and marketing strategies. Pepsi-Cola, under Kendall's guidance, embraces these changes and seeks to align itself with the spirit of the new generation, its finger on the pulse of the times. In 1963, Pepsi-Cola launches one of its most iconic and impactful advertising campaigns, Come Alive. You're in the Pepsi generation, a vibrant call to action. This campaign is a direct appeal to the youth market, positioning Pepsi as the drink of choice for a vibrant, energetic, and forward-looking generation, a banner unfurled. The advertisements feature young, attractive people engaging in active, fun, and modern activities, often set to upbeat, contemporary music, a pulsating soundtrack. The Pepsi Generation campaign is a masterstroke of marketing. It successfully taps into the aspirations and values of the baby boomers, who are coming of age and becoming a powerful consumer force, their voices loud and clear. The campaign creates a strong emotional connection with its target audience, suggesting that drinking Pepsi-Cola is not just about refreshment, but about being part of a dynamic and exciting cultural movement, a shared identity. It further cements Pepsi's image as the modern alternative to the more traditional Coca-Cola, a symbol of the new. The Pepsi Generation campaign is widely successful, not only in the United States, but also internationally, its message echoing across borders. It helps to drive significant sales growth and strengthens Pepsi-Cola's global brand recognition, its name known everywhere. The campaign's success is also attributed to its adaptability. The core message of youth, energy, and modernity can be translated and localized for various markets around the world, a chameleon of marketing. In 1965, a pivotal moment in Pepsi-Cola's history occurs with the merger of Pepsi-Cola Company and Frito-Lay, Inc., a leading snack food company, two giants joining forces. This merger creates PepsiCo, Inc., a diversified food and beverage giant, its portfolio expanding. Donald Kendall, who engineered the merger, becomes the CEO of the newly formed company, at the helm of a new empire. The creation of PepsiCo is a strategic move, recognizing the synergy between snacks and beverages, a perfect pairing. It allows for cross-promotion and expanded distribution channels, strengthening both brands, their reach extending further. The merger also provides PepsiCo with a more robust financial foundation and a broader portfolio of products, reducing its reliance solely on the cola market, a diversified shield. Throughout the late 1960s, PepsiCo continues to expand its product offerings and global presence, its tendrils reaching wider. The company introduces new flavors and variations of Pepsi-Cola, such as Diet Pepsi, which caters to the growing health-conscious consumer market, a nod to changing tastes. Diet Pepsi, first introduced in 1964, is one of the first successful diet colas, demonstrating PepsiCo's willingness to innovate and adapt to changing consumer demands, a pioneering spirit. The company also acquires other snack food brands, further diversifying its portfolio and solidifying its position in the food and beverage industry, a growing empire of taste. The Pepsi Generation campaign continues to evolve, incorporating new trends and cultural shifts. Advertisements feature popular music artists and athletes, further reinforcing Pepsi's connection to contemporary culture and youth, a constant mirror to the times. The campaign's longevity and adaptability are key to its enduring success, a timeless message. As the 1970s begin, the Pepsi Generation campaign remains a powerful force, but the competitive landscape continues to intensify, the stakes rising. Coca-Cola, while still dominant, is feeling the pressure from Pepsi's aggressive marketing and growing market share, a giant stirring. The Cola Wars, as they become known, escalate, with both companies investing heavily in advertising and vying for consumer loyalty, a battle for hearts and minds. The 1970s are characterized by economic uncertainty, including inflation and energy crises, which impact consumer spending habits, wallets tightening. However, the youth market, which Pepsi has so successfully cultivated, remains a crucial demographic, a loyal following. PepsiCo continues to innovate, exploring new marketing strategies to maintain its momentum and further challenge Coca-Cola, its competitive fire burning. The company recognizes that while brand image and aspiration are important, taste remains a fundamental driver of consumer choice, the ultimate test. This realization sets the stage for a groundbreaking and audacious marketing initiative that will directly confront Coca-Cola on its perceived strongest attribute, a direct challenge to the king. In the 1970s, PepsiCo launches a bold and unprecedented marketing campaign that will forever change the landscape of the Cola Wars. The Pepsi Challenge, a gauntlet thrown down. This audacious initiative directly confronts Coca-Cola on the battlefield of taste, inviting consumers to participate in blind taste tests comparing Pepsi Cola with its rival. Two unmarked cups on a table. The premise is simple yet revolutionary. Two unmarked cups, one containing Pepsi, the other Coke, and a simple question: which one tastes better? A moment of truth. The Pepsi Challenge begins in Dallas, Texas, in 1975, a market where Coca-Cola holds a particularly strong grip, its roots deep. Initial results are startling, with a significant number of participants, often self-proclaimed Coca-Cola loyalists, choosing Pepsi as their preferred taste, their eyes widening in surprise. This unexpected outcome sends shockwaves through the industry and into the public consciousness. A tremor felt everywhere. PepsiCo, armed with these compelling results, rapidly expands the campaign nationwide, bringing the Pepsi Challenge to malls, supermarkets, and public events across America, a rolling phenomenon. Television commercials feature real people expressing genuine surprise and delight when they discover they prefer Pepsi, their reactions genuine. The campaign is a masterclass in direct comparison and experiential marketing, creating a tangible, verifiable claim to superior taste, a taste test heard round the world. The Pepsi Challenge is not without controversy. Coca-Cola dismisses the results, arguing that the methodology is flawed and that people prefer the sweeter taste of Pepsi in a single sip, but not over an entire can or bottle, a counterargument. This phenomenon, later dubbed the sips and gulps theory, suggests that while Pepsi might win in a quick taste test, Coca-Cola's more balanced flavor is preferred for sustained consumption, a different kind of pleasure. Regardless of the debate, the Pepsi Challenge fundamentally shifts the narrative, forcing Coca-Cola to acknowledge Pepsi as a formidable challenger, not just a distant second, a new rival on the block. It instills a new level of confidence within PepsiCo and empowers its sales force with a powerful, demonstrable advantage, a weapon in their hands. Throughout the late 1970s and into the 1980s, the Pepsi Challenge continues to be a cornerstone of PepsiCo's marketing strategy, its banner still flying high. The campaign is adapted for international markets, further solidifying Pepsi's image as a global challenger, its reach extending across oceans. The success of the Pepsi Challenge emboldens PepsiCo to continue its aggressive innovation in product development and marketing, a relentless pursuit of newness. This era sees the introduction of new products and brand extensions, as PepsiCo seeks to broaden its appeal beyond its core cola offerings. The 1980s become an era of pop culture dominance, and PepsiCo strategically aligns itself with this trend, embracing celebrity endorsements on an unprecedented scale. In 1984, PepsiCo signs a groundbreaking endorsement deal with Michael Jackson, the undisputed king of pop, for a reported $5 million, a record-breaking sum. The New Generation campaign, featuring Jackson, is a massive success, culminating in iconic commercials that blend music, dance, and the aspirational image of Pepsi, a cultural phenomenon. This partnership is revolutionary, blurring the lines between advertising and entertainment, and setting a new standard for celebrity endorsements. It cements Pepsi's image as the brand of youth, music, and excitement, a vibrant connection to the pulse of the times. Following the success with Michael Jackson, PepsiCo continues to enlist a roster of A-list celebrities, including Lionel Richie, Tina Turner, and later Madonna, further solidifying its connection to popular culture, a galaxy of stars. These endorsements resonate deeply with consumers, particularly the younger demographic, who see their idols endorsing their favorite drink, a powerful influence. The New Generation theme evolves, always emphasizing youth, energy, and being at the forefront of cultural trends, a constant reinvention of cool. However, the Cola Wars reach a fever pitch in 1985 when Coca-Cola, reeling from Pepsi's continued gains and the Pepsi Challenge results, makes a historic and controversial decision. It changes its classic formula, introducing new Coke. This move is intended to stem Pepsi's momentum and reclaim market share, a desperate gamble. The public reaction is swift and overwhelmingly negative, a firestorm of protest. Consumers, loyal to the original taste, flood Coca-Cola with complaints demanding the return of their beloved beverage, a passionate outcry. This misstep by its arch-rival proves to be an enormous boon for Pepsi, which capitalizes on the public outcry with savvy advertising, reinforcing its consistent taste and reliability, a steady hand in a turbulent storm. Coca-Cola is forced to quickly backtrack, reintroducing its original formula as Coca-Cola Classic just 79 days later, a humbling retreat. The new Coke debacle is a stark reminder of the power of brand loyalty and the emotional connection consumers have with their favorite products, a lesson learned the hard way. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, PepsiCo continues its aggressive strategy of diversification, recognizing that growth in the carbonated soft drink market, while still significant, is slowing in mature markets. The company expands its snack food empire, acquiring brands like Lay's, Doritos, and Cheetos, consolidating its position as a global leader in savory snacks, a powerful duo of taste. This strategic diversification proves prescient, providing PepsiCo with robust revenue streams beyond beverages and allowing it to weather fluctuations in the soft drink market, a resilient business model. In the 1990s, PepsiCo also makes significant inroads into the bottled water market, launching brands like Aquafina and venturing into non-carbonated beverages such as iced tea and fruit juices, broadening its hydration portfolio. These moves reflect a growing consumer preference for healthier and more diverse beverage options, a response to changing lifestyles. The company also continues its global expansion, establishing strong footholds in emerging markets in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Recognizing the immense growth potential in these regions, new frontiers of flavor. The turn of the millennium brings new challenges and opportunities. The digital age transforms advertising and consumer engagement, and PepsiCo adapts by investing in online marketing, social media campaigns, and interactive experiences, connecting with a new generation of consumers. The Pepsi Challenge is occasionally revived in various forms, a nostalgic nod to its iconic past, demonstrating the enduring power of direct taste comparison. In the 21st century, PepsiCo continues to innovate, focusing on sustainability, health-conscious options, and new product categories. It acquires Quaker Oats, adding breakfast cereals and other healthy food options to its portfolio, further diversifying its offerings and positioning itself as a leader in good-for-you products, a commitment to wellness. The company also invests in plant-based alternatives, acknowledging the growing demand for sustainable and ethically sourced products, a forward-looking vision. Today, PepsiCo stands as a global powerhouse, a testament to its enduring entrepreneurial spirit, relentless innovation, and aggressive marketing strategies. From Caleb Bradham's humble drugstore in New Bern, North Carolina, to a multinational corporation with a vast portfolio of iconic food and beverage brands, the story of Pepsi is one of resilience, reinvention, and fierce competition. It's a narrative that illustrates the power of a simple idea, a bold vision, and the unwavering pursuit of consumer connection. The story of Pepsi is not just about a drink. It's about the relentless pursuit of market share, the constant battle for consumer loyalty, and the audacious spirit of an underdog that dared to challenge a giant and, in doing so,